Today we're going to read a poem called Flowers. This is on page 18 of your word study notebook. If you don't have your word study notebook, pause the video and go and get it. Page 18, you will find Flowers. Listen as I read. My stepfather brought me flowers today for my first solo, my first bouquet. Yellow and peach and purple and red. Daughter, you sang like an angel, he said. My stepfather brought me flowers, and I pretended there wasn't a tear in his eye. Flowers and happiness tied with a bow, because I had just sung my first solo. What do you think this poem is about? This poem is about a stepfather that gives his daughter flowers. In the first line of the poem, it says, my stepfather brought me flowers today. Also, it talks about a bouquet being different colors, yellow, peach, purple, and red. I think the stepfather gives her flowers because it's his first solo, and a solo is something that you do without another person. And it also says, you sang like an angel, so maybe she was singing her very first part by herself. We want to talk today about something called homographs. Homographs, this is what the word looks like. Homographs are words that have more than one meaning and pronunciation, and they can be used in different ways in a sentence. For example, the word tear in this poem can also look like tear. So it can have a different type of part of speech, like a verb or a noun. And so when you tear something, it's a verb. You mean to rip or to split open. But when you're talking about a tear, as it's used in the poem, that's a noun. It's a thing. It's a drop of liquid that comes out of your eye when you cry. Let's look at how the word tear or tear is used in this sentence. When he grabbed the paper too quickly from her hands, it began to tear. In this case, it means it's a verb. It's something, it's an action, something that you're doing. You're ripping it open. If we go back to the poem, there was this word, bow. Flowers and happiness tied with a bow. A bow is also a homograph. In this case, it means that it's a knot tied by tying a ribbon or a string into loops, and that's a noun. It's a thing. But we can also pronounce this word bow, and that means you would bend forward to greet someone or show respect. And in that case, it would be a verb. It would be an action. So let's look at how the word bow, or is it bow, used in this sentence. Number 2, Banma and Rajdeep took a bow after their musical performance. And so in this case, it would be a verb because they're bending forward to greet someone or to show respect. So homographs are words that have different pronunciations and have more than one meaning. You are now going to turn to this page in your word study journal, page 19, and you're going to listen as I read these sentences to you, and you're going to decide, is the word a noun or a verb? You will circle one or the other. You will circle noun or verb after I read each sentence. So the first word that we're going to look at is object. Something that is not alive. That would be a noun. Or we could say it differently. We could say object. And that's when you disagree or oppose something. That would be a verb. Listen to my sentence. Decide if the word object or object is a noun or a verb used in the sentence. Many neighbors decided to object to adding a roller coaster to the park because the construction would be loud and dirty. I could read it the other way. Many neighbors decided to object to adding a roller coaster to the park because the construction would be loud and dirty. Decide, is object or object a noun or verb in this sentence? Circle 1 now. The next word we're going to look at is produce or produce. Produce are nouns because they're fresh fruits and vegetables, or it could be a verb where you produce something, to make something, usually with machines. Here's the sentence. The recipe includes produce, such as apples and carrots. Or I could read it the other way. The recipe includes produce, such as apples and carrots. Is produce or produce? How did I use it in the sentence? Is it a noun or is it a verb? Circle 1 now. The last homograph is going to be desert, a very dry area of land with little rain and not many plants. That would be a noun. Or desert would be to leave or to abandon. That would be a verb. The sentence, the cyclist had to desert their bike on the side of the road after both tires popped. Is that a noun or is it a verb? Or I could read it the other way. The cyclist had to desert their bike on the side of the road after both tires popped. After you have completed these, circling noun or verb for each sentence, take a picture of this page and upload it to the assignment on Empower, and you will be complete.